Alright, here we go. Another Ultron game. Forgot to record. I mean, I didn't realize how good of a game this was going to be, so I just didn't record. And so yeah, here we are. We are in the, I guess, the gallery or the game replay, just watching it. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about this basically as it happened. But yeah, I didn't record as I was playing. But basically what happened is we started off, Spider-Man got a pick. I ended up announcing, I said, hey guys, let's walk in, let's go. Spider-Man got a pick, we're up 1. And that's generally what you want to do when you get a pick and you're up a person. You generally want to just push on it. Unless it's something like a Rocket, where Rocket has his revive. So if you get a pick, they're just going to revive. So in those situations, you can't really push. But in this situation, I said to push. We ended up not being able to get a kill off it, or we weren't able to capitalize off it for some reason. So that's fine. Yes, what ended up happening, we ended up failing the push, we ended up having to fall back a little bit. And so here you see me, like usual, I'm just kind of trying to build up my ult charge, is what I'm trying to do. We're at 87%. Iron Man ults, nothing happens, but Spider-Man ends up killing Ultron here, which was super helpful. That probably saved us right there, and then I end up ulting right here. And I think I got a triple kill, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I got a triple kill, so do that, pop off, kill the thing. Then almost got the quadra on the Hella, but I ended up missing my last shot. So we end up capping right here. Super easy peasy. That's all you want to do. Just as Ultron, throw your robot on people. Try to build up your ult charge. Once you get your ult charge, ideally you want to be the first one to get your ult in the game. Ideally, you should be landing all your shots. You should be doing tons of healing. That's ideal. That's kind of the game plan you should go into every game. That's what you want to be doing. And so that's what we did. Got my ult charge. We ended up wiping them all right there. And so once we did that, we try to push right here. The thing ends up dying. Then I don't think our cloak and dagger died. I think they end up living. But we end up having to fall back and wait for the thing to revive. And that's I think Spider-Man ended up ulting and he ended up killing a lot, I believe. Yeah, he ended up killing like 2. And then the thing, this guy was kind of bad, so we ended up being able to capitalize off it. So, not too bad. So yeah. And I think I should have a death coming up. I think right now, yes, right now where am I? I'm 4-0. I have a death coming up. I think up here, I think I pushed a little too much. Our team ends up dying, and I end up dying, but it's fine. So, as you can see, I'm at 100%. I don't know if I ult right here or not. I don't know. I think I did. Yeah, I ult right here, and I killed 2, but Luna Snow ult, she counter ulted me, and so, which is unfortunate. There's not too many ults in this game who can counter Ultron ult, but Luna Snow, her ult is one of them. So you just have to know that when she ults, you can't really do anything. Her ult, Invisible Woman ult. Yeah, so I ended up dying to Luna Snow. She does a ton of damage if she knows what she's doing. And so yeah, then I'll revive right here. So, but anyway, it's not bad. I mean, the Luna Snow ult countered me. Then they used Doctor Strange ult on my team. They end up all dying. Luna Snow ends up wiping me, or killing me. And so, that's where we are. But, this was pretty fine. We ended up killing, I think we get a pick right here, and then we were able to capitalize off it. Let's take a look what ends up happening. So, yeah, Iron Man gets like a 3. He got 2. And that Iron Man ult ended up winning us that fight right there. So once we won that fight, we were able to push off the stragglers. And that's another strategy you want to do whenever you get picks. You just want to push and try to kill the people who are remaining. That way they have a staggered respawn. Ideally, if you can stagger the respawns, that's more time they have to wait before they can regroup and fight as a team. So you want to be doing those kind of things. I think Luna Stone, yeah, we ended up killing Luna Stone right here. And this is another thing, their team staggered in, even though they had 2 people die, the other 4 still went in for some reason. And you just want to avoid those kind of things because things like that is what's going to keep you from not being able to climb. So when you see your team die, unless you know you can pull it through or something, you just want to probably just back off, which is what they did not do, and we were able to capitalize. Okay, Spider-Man ends up doing who knows what. He tries to ult, but ends up dying. He ended up getting 1. He got the Luna Snow, but it didn't really matter because he was overextended. there's really no reason to do that because we're so far back and the cart is still pushing. So, and then the rest of our team ends up going in like ults and stuff, which I don't know why because the cart is still behind us. So there's really no reason to do that. We should have just kept pushing the cart, but we didn't. But anyways, I go back to the cart. I need to heal up. That's another thing people don't really know is if you're on the cart as an attacker, you heal. And so I went to the cart to get some health. Okay, then right here, I believe we end up capping in a second. So Ultron ults, and watch this. I end up countering the Doctor Strange ult, and I was able to heal up my entire team. And this was huge. I end up just completely nullifying his ult. We end up killing Doctor Strange. We go in and we swipe them all, and then we end up capping right here. So that's basically what you want to be doing. So that's another way to climb. You just want to know what ults you can counter with your ult and what ults counter your ult. So it's vice versa. You want to know both ways. So there we go. A clean 3-0 completion right here. I believe. I think that might have been. I think I died one more time, but I could be wrong. I don't know if I died again. But anyways, let's see. We're just gonna keep going. We're skip through a little bit. Here we go. So we get to point. I'm just gonna skip through. There's no point watching us wait. Okay, then here we go. So we end up full holding them right here for 4 minutes. So it's gonna be kind of boring. Not much action happens. They just keep trying to push and we swipe them. I'll try to commentate on anything that I think is necessary. But yeah, not too much happens. Like usual, build your ult charge. The thing is kind of pushing up, which is really good for us. Yeah, so I'm already at 27%. Really good. I end up using my alternative ability and just heal up our team, and I'm getting a pick on the magic. So you see I'm already at 50%. If you look, I have some of the highest ult charge in the entire game right now. The only person, I mean, I'm at 70%. Like Iron Man's at 80%. That's the, and their cloak and dagger's at 80%. So ideally, yeah, like I said, you want to be like one of the first people to get your ult as Ultron, just because your ult's more of an offensive ult, and if you can get it first, they won't have their defensive ults, and then you can just completely wipe them. So that's just what you want to do. So here we go. Finally got my ultimate. Then what's going to happen is because I have it first, and you look at their team. So their Invisible Woman, she only has 40% ult charge. Their Cloak and Dagger has 95. So they have one defensive ult they could use against me. They have one. And so what you want to do in these situations, you need to like kind of have an idea of who might have their ults by around this time. And so what I do is I see Cloak and Dagger uses her ult, or uses their ult. You want to wait out her ult, and then here we go. I then use my Extermination. And that's just what you want to do. You just want to wait out their defensive ults, then use your offensive ult. And as you can see, we end up just then I have a 1v1 with Squirrel Girl right here, which wasn't very. Took me a couple seconds to finally kill her. She kept on using. We both end up using that small wall. Finally, I end up killing her after what felt like forever, but finally got her. So gonna heal up the team. So not too bad. We held for 2 minutes right there. Pretty good hold. We have a minute and a half left. Spider-Man, he ends up dying right here after ulting. But it's fine because he ended up killing one of their healers, so it's okay. If you ever are going to sacrifice yourself, you at least want to kill at least one other person, or else your sacrifice will just be for nothing. So, and I've called out to my team right here. I said, hey guys, they're going to ult to the point. They're going to portal to the point, so they end up all getting back. I didn't want to go into the Invisible Woman ult, just because as Ultron, you kind of want to keep your distance. Iron Man ends up getting like a big kill right here, which is really good, and that kind of solidified our game win. Because they, if you look at their team right now, they just use they use like 3 ults right there. Well, no, they used these 2 ults, but by the time they get the rest of their ults up, I'm gonna have my Ultron ult, and then we're just gonna win the game off my Ultron ult. So the game's basically won at this point. If you just know these basic things like ult economy, it's kind of like chess in a way. You just need to know. You just need to kind of have an idea of who has ults and stuff, and whose ults counter whose ults. if you know that stuff, you can climb so easily. So just understand that basic concept. So they try to push, nothing happens. They end up having 30 seconds left. Squirrel Girls tries to do something, we kill her. So they have to regroup. They have one final push right here, and as you can see, I still have my ult. Squirrel Girl wasted her ult for some reason. Those are the things you don't want to do. If you're the last one alive, why would you ult? I don't know why she did that. Just don't do that if you want to climb. So here they come. They're gonna try push. And as you can see, this thing, he ends up walking in first without any of his team. So we end up killing him really easily. So it ends up being a 5v6. They try to walk through. I end up just using my extermination just preemptively, just to kind of create some pressure. We end up killing Invisible Woman right here. And then Magic is the last one left. Let's see, I think someone ends up coming in. I could be wrong. Okay. Yeah, Squirrel Girl tries, but it was too late. She was too late. She couldn't get in. And so that's it. An easy, clean game. We full hold them 0-3, and then I end up getting MVP right here. And I'll show you my in-game stats. It's gonna show on the final screen. So yeah, you'll see me. Here it is. I get MVP. Really good stuff for me. And then let's see. It's gonna show my stats. So here we go. Here are my stats. Really good stuff. I got 14,000 damage, 15,000 healing. The game was only 10 minutes. I got 15k healing in 10 minutes. 14k damage, 10 minutes. That's really good stuff. And yeah, and like yeah, you look at our Cloak and Dagger on our team. Yeah, they had 14,000 healing, but they only had 6,000 damage. I had another 8,000 damage on them. That's insane. And I mean, just look, I had 1 death, 32, 1, 37. Looks like I had most healing. I think most elim, whatever that number means. 12 final hits. Tons of good stats. Let's look at their healers just for comparison. 12.5k healing, 14k healing. Okay, pretty good healing numbers. I like to see that. But the issue, 4k damage, 9k damage. Like, if you want to climb, that's got to be a bit higher. Look at their final hits. 4 final hits, 0 final hits. If you want to climb, that's got to be a bit higher. Same thing for elims, which granted their team didn't really have any elims to begin with. They had a lot more deaths because we kind of steamrolled them. But if you want to climb, this death number you have to keep this low. If you're a support and you're dying, you're not going to climb. You need to be under, at most, you should only be dying like, let me see, your average death should be, let me think, so every 10 minutes, you should only have about 5 deaths. So was that 2? 1 death every 2 minutes is what you should be striving for. Obviously, I did a lot better because we kind of steamrolled them, but still, that's kind of the general tips on how to improve. That's all I've got. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.